South Africans are speaking out after the recent speech by the US ambassador to South Africa, and many are not pleased with what was said. So I want you to watch this video and hear what so many South Africans has to say concerning this issue, concerning this speech. He made mention of so many things in his speech. He made mention of he called Key de Bois. You understand that speech now. He also criticized South African laws and policies, even suggested that US is losing patience. He said so many things that trigger South Africans to come out to say their mind. So let's watch and hear, and also put down your own comment. Let's see what is going on.
Dear Ambassador, there is a cultural nuance that you must be mindful of. South Africans do not appreciate being yelled at. They don't appreciate the condescending tone. Blame it on apartheid, blame it on colonialism. There's a long and exhausting history of Black people in particular being treated like children in the land of their birth. It's not going to go down well. It didn't go down well. That's why we had the anti-apartheid struggle. And even today,
the US ambassador to South Africa was on BizNews. While on BizNews, this US ambassador to South Africa said some things that made him sound like he came here to police our country on how a certain race is treated. For an example, he seems to be having a problem with the Expropriation Act. The guy has a problem with South Africa's 9-alignment strategy. In short, he was just regurgitating AfriForum's talking points when it comes to our country. He said our country should not have sent the message of condolences to Iran after the supreme leader of Iran was unalived. Just like a bully, to make matters worse, this guy says the US is running out of patience with South Africa. Now, Ronald Lamola was on TV to tell the country that his office called the guy into a meeting, and in this meeting, this guy regretted what he said and apologized. However, when you read on what he said on the X page of this guy's office, there is no apology. If anything, the guy says, I want to clarify that while my personal view, like that of many South Africans, is that the chant constitutes hate speech, the US government respects the independence and findings of South Africa's judiciary. To which the CIC of the EFF was the first to respond and said, Wapa persis, and I agree with him. That being said, I have a request. Please, if anyone has seen this apology that the minister is talking about, please refer it to me. Let me conclude by saying this. I was of the view that the Minister of International Relations and Cooperation, Ronald Lamola, upon hearing what this guy said, the minister was going to do that which Marco Rubio did to Ibrahim Rasool, South Africa's former ambassador to the US, and declare this guy a persona non grata because he hates South Africa and sent him packing.
Of course, they were cheering him on. While we were all worried about his background, you had a whole group of people that were very excited about his background. So, yes, but the issue here is that he's the one that gets embarrassed now because he just started in February and he's demarched in March. I mean, that is embarrassing. It just shows that you haven't got the necessary skills and experience to be an ambassador because you do not take digs at the host country. But yeah, they'll cheer him on and they'll also, try and say this is not a big deal or doesn't really matter and try and twist it. But yeah, it's actually an embarrassment, I think, to a country when their ambassador is demarched so soon after arriving in another country. Not that anything can embarrass the United States. I mean, look at their administration. But also another thing is we must keep in mind that he does not have the necessary experience. Both Trump's appointments. In his first term, our US ambassador was a designer handbag executive that had donated to Trump's campaign. That was our first one from him. This is our second one. No diplomatic experience, no Africa experience. And I don't know why he thought that this was okay, but it's because of the lack of experience. And the mask slipped in that, grievance-addicted crowd that he decided to rub shoulders with. And these guys are going to use him continuously, and he is going to be embarrassed each time. So we'll see what happens going forward.
Hey bafethu singazithatha kancane izinto zijike zibe yinto enkulu. Izolo lapha kuvela into yoba unozakuzaku wase-USA, unozakuzaku ke nguye ambassador uBrent Bozell ulapha eSouth Africa. Uthe interviewer yiBiz News bafikelela kula mcimbi onokwenza nala ngoma yethu ye-struggle Kill the Boer. Kill the Boer. Yamazana la ngoma yayithanda uculwa nguMalema yaze ingoma yakhona yamthatha yambhekisa ecourt wehle senyuke ecourt but wayiwina into yakhona into yoba hayibo yingoma yokhokho bethu ye-struggle yana. So uthi yena akakhathalelanga noba iikhoti zethu zithini apha eSouth Africa, okusalayo la ngoma leyana yi-hate speech. So watsolisile kamagama wathatha nomcimbi lolo kwenza nento zemhlaba kancinci waphinde futhi wathetha nomcimbi wama-BEE. Hayi-ke so uthetha nganto efana naleyo. Hayi-ke kuvela into ke ngokethi ngoku Ronald Lamula ngaba be-international relations anditho Ronald Lamula meaning ugovernment wethu lapha eSouth Africa sebembizele eduze bathi hayibo makasondele le ndoda lena ike ize izosicacisela into yoba ithetha ukuthini xa izabiza amagama afana nalawo into yoba ize ifikele into yoba ithi ayikhathalelanga noba iikhoti zethu zithini. So niyayazi ke le nto enye baneconsi kaloku abi-USA yile humiliator yi-Iran le ibaphethe mbengwana i-missiles badlalela phezu kwazo. So bangathi lo msindo abanawo njengoba be-humiliator yi-Iran nje bafuna ukukhiphela apha kuthi. Hey ingathi bangatshetshe nje bayilungise lento yabo ngespeed ingekanumeleki nje ukuyaphi because hey baneconsi ngapha amajoni wethu ngulawo kaloku thina sisawathatha siwadeploya kwindawo ezahlukahlukene lapha eSouth Africa instead babe bayatraina futhi nabo ngoku because yayibona iwo yinto engathi khona but ke ngonaba babhizi bazogadana nomphakathi ongafuni ukuba disciplined. Hey bafethu mabashashe bayilungise nje lento yabo. Uneconsi la Trump wakho wase-USA and ngoku ne-stress sala humiliation abayenziwa yi-Iran angafuna nje ukuzenza nje ubhosibhosi apha kuthi esazi ke phofu into yoba hey asinanto ncam eyokuzivikela.
Out of patience. We believe that more and more it becomes a statement by the South African government when it doesn't want to respond to simple questions that we have. We may not get clarity on the Kill the Boer chant that we believe is hate speech. I'm sorry, I don't care what your courts say. It's hate speech. We believe that there is clarity on the expropriation. We believe we can find these things. But the South African government has to step up to the plate. At this point, what I'm saying to the business community, you do too. What I don't have patience for, and I'll be very blunt here. I'm known for being blunt. This is why the president asked me to do this.